The recent attack on a Catholic church in France was a major step for ISIS. It was the first time that ISIS attacked a church in the West. But as Chris Mitchell reports, some fear it won't be the last.
When two ISIS-inspired terrorists murdered 86-year-old Catholic priest Jacques Hamel in a French town, the attack sent shockwaves through France and the Western world.
On va avoir des mal à mettre ça. On a peur. On a partout. On n'a pas de sécurité nulle part.
They've been suffering this kind of fate for years and years now. This is one of the saddest untold or unfocused parts of the post 9/11 world, that the Christians and their ministers have been suffering atrociously in the Middle East, and this war, this jihadi tactic, has now been brought to Europe and to the continent, and we should probably expect more.
In the past several months, Islamic terror has swept over the West, from Brussels to both Paris and Nice, as well as reaching the U.S. in Orlando, Florida.
America is the greatest nation on God's earth. It is the most powerful nation the world has ever seen. And the idea that after thousands of dead, after trillions spent, the jihadis are still winning this war, there is no excuse.
Counterterrorism expert Dr. Sebastian Gorka blames the refusal to name the enemy as a major reason for continued losses.
In fact, under today's Obama administration, you can't even talk accurately or honestly about who the enemy is. You can't mention religion. Words such as jihad are in fact officially prohibited. When you talk to our military, when you provide training to our federal law enforcement, you're not supposed to even discuss these issues. That's an edict that comes right out of the White House.
In his new book, Defeating Jihad, The Winnable War, Gorka says leaders need to take a close look at the Cold War.
How did we win that war? We didn't fire a shot on November 9th, 1989 when the Berlin Wall fell. We won it by delegitimizing their message, by making communism look bankrupt, by making the people behind the Iron Curtain want to take it apart themselves with their own hands. That's what we have to do today.
Gorka also believes the West needs to actively empower Muslim nations like Jordan and Egypt to take on ISIS and recognize Islamic extremism for what it is.
The idea that you can't call a jihadi, that has to be jettisoned on day one. Talk about the enemy as they talk about themselves, truthfully, and recognize that they are evil.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.